For almost a week now, Gebre Tensai Gebre Korostos, an Ethiopian farmer in Sudan's eastern Kassala state, has been playing the role of gravedigger. The banks of the Setit River that flows between the two countries has been carrying the bodies of Ethiopians he says are from Humera in Tigray, where a conflict has been raging for nearly a year now.
We were called in about 5 days back when the first bodies started appearing. Since then, we've been burying people nearly daily. Most come with their hands tied behind their backs. Some had gunshots wounds in the head, others in the back. We buried more than 40 so far.
The bodies were found at the end of last week, a few days after dozens of new refugees from Tigray arrived at a reception center in Kassala. Humera, near the border with Sudan, is one of the few areas still under the control of the Ethiopian government and Amhara militias. But the Tigrayan defense forces took over the capital Mekelle and other major cities weeks ago. Some of the new arrivals say they witnessed hundreds trying to escape Humera and were killed and thrown into the river. Legacy says he was part of the group that found some of the bodies and buried them.
We were told by refugees that people were being killed and thrown in the river. Then we found the bodies, hands tied behind their back, some shot in the chest, some in the head. We knew they were Tigrayans from Humera.
Most of the graves were dug just meters from the river. There are several burial sites like this one along the Setit River, each with different numbers of bodies. But people here in Wad el-Hilew say not all those found in the river were pulled out. And while the bodies of those who died trying to escape Tigray are buried here, there are reports of similar graves in the region where the death toll is unknown. Since the start of the conflict in November last year, there has been accusations by rights groups of atrocities by the warring parties. Many Tigrayans have reported being targeted for their ethnicity, raising concerns of ethnic cleansing and genocide. At least 2 million people have been displaced and 60,000 have fled to Sudan. A communications blackout continues, and humanitarian organizations say more than 5 million people are in need of aid. Ethiopians here, including Gebre Tensai, say they hope their work would now be over. But he knows as long as the conflict continues in Tigray, there'll be more bodies to bury on both sides of the border. Hiba Morgan, Al Jazeera, Wad el-Hilew, Kassala.